Good afternoon. We hope you're having a wonderful Saturday afternoon as it's yours truly, Jackson Johnson and Trevion Ware, as we deliver some breaking news from the portal after a much needed victory over the Oklahoma Sooners on the men's basketball side. It's a wild ride because we've got Terrance Green from Oregon, and that's a huge win right there for the Crimson Tide as he has chosen Alabama over Cal and Nebraska. He is listed at 6'5", 330 pounds, and in 2 seasons, he's played in 25 games, totaling 22 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss and a sack, and he's got 2 years of eligibility remaining. Man, this is some more good news for the Crimson Tide. When you saw this, Trevia, what did you think when you saw it?
First and foremost, I thought it was a big win for Alabama because once again they're targeting this area that they had a weakness in last year, which is the trenches. They're targeting offensive linemen and offensive and defensive linemen, and overall, this is making the Alabama football team better where it counts the most. Green is a highly touted big defensive lineman. Like you said, he's 6'5", 330 pounds. He's from the state of Texas. He's a former four-star. He has about 2 years of playing experience from Oregon and Eugene. And he's looking to be an instant impact starter for Alabama. He fits exactly what Kane Warmack and that defensive staff is looking for as far as a run stopper. And all Alabama fans know, if you watch Alabama the past 2 years, they've had problems with stopping the run. And Mr. Green here, he specializes in stopping the run. And as you can see on this clip right here, literally he's literally clogging up lanes and stopping any type of motion from any type of running backs from getting down the field and stuff like that. So Green, he's big, he's strong, he's athletic, he fits exactly what Alabama needs, especially losing a player like Tim Keenan, losing just some of those other veterans they had many times in the past 2 seasons, especially last season, just not being able to get enough consistent pressure on the quarterback, not being able to clog up some of those running lanes. And Terrance Green, like I said, with his size at 6'5", he gives Alabama exactly what they need up front from a defensive standpoint. So this is a very big win for Alabama. Terrance Green was the #1 defensive tackle left in the transfer portal. So you're getting, like I said, an immediate starter, an impact player, a high-level character. Like I said, last year he had about 15 tackles Alabama is making up front on their defensive line.
Well, and one thing that we could definitely count on is Caleb DeBoer always one-upping Oregon because, like, he did it at Washington, and he's doing it again on the recruiting trail and in the portal trail, just doing it all over again. And we got a hello, everyone, from one of our YouTube members, Godfather at the SEC. What is up, good buddy? Glad to see
I
you.
definitely appreciate you for checking in. But yeah, just to get back on the point of Green, Green is definitely somebody that Alabama can, like I said, plug and play, especially with the loss of Tim Keenan. Then you think about the loss of Kelby Collins, who left for the transfer portal and stuff like that. Green, that's somebody that they can definitely depend on early and often. And he has 2 years of eligibility, so you can continue to develop him as a raw prospect. And I'm just excited to see what Freddie Roach in the game does with him once they get him in Alabama, get him in that weight room, get him on their meal plan and just training regimens, because it's small stuff like that that helps with player development. So I'm just excited just to see Alabama get one of the highly coveted players in the transfer portal. Like I said, he was the #1 remaining defensive lineman left, and you can see it in his tape. Like, for example, he collapses the pocket. He puts pressure on the center. He works the interior. He can rush the passer as well. He's violent at the point of attack, and he's very fast for his size. It's not too often you see a dude that's 300 plus pounds move the way that he does, but he has some twitch and wiggle to his game, and that's very exciting to see because uh, it's just exciting to see Kellen DeBoer, continue to get his type of athletes in because I don't think a lot of people realize, when he first came to Alabama, he kind of inherited that roster from 2024. In 2025, he was able to get some more of his type of players in there, but he never was able to get his exact type of builds at those interior positions. And we're seeing that now with the offensive line and the defensive line. So it's just really excited to see Kalen DeBoer finally implement his handprints on this program. And we're seeing that now with players like Terrance Green come in, and we saw that last night with the 3 additional offensive linemen they brought in. And like I said, I'm just excited because they're targeting the weakness that they had. They know the weakness that they had. It's like Kalen DeBoer and staff looked in the mirror this offseason and said, what do we need to do to get better? And they're targeting that weakness. That is rushing the quarterback, stopping the run, protecting the quarterback, and we're seeing that. And that's been the theme of Alabama's transfer portal, especially over these last 48 hours. So getting a player like Terrance Green, that's definitely a big win. I would grade Terrance Green probably an A+ signing because I was banging hard on the table on social media. I was like, we need to get this kid in. We need to get this kid in because he's definitely an impact player. Yes, he is raw. Yes, he had only played 7 games last year, but he's gonna play a ton of T-Town this fall on that defensive line. So I'm definitely excited to see him join up with Jan Pierre, and he's gonna help a player like Jan Pierre because he can collapse the middle, and Jan Pierre can rush around. He's gonna help a player like Justin Hill, one of Alabama's young wolf edge rushers as well. So, a move getting like Terrance Green, it just makes your whole defense better. So this is definitely a step in the right direction for Kane Warmack as he continues to implement his style of defense in his 3rd season in Tuscaloosa.
Oh man, it's a huge win, of course, for our defensive line because, as you stated, it's one of the needs that Alabama needed to get. Make sure we've got enough defensive linemen. Make sure we've got a lot of offensive linemen as well. Because you've got that, you're good to go. Got to get in the trenches, and you're just kind of looking at where Green is from. He's from Cypress, Texas.
I'm the Texas native on the show, so I'm gonna talk about him. He's from
Oh, there you
Cypress.
go.
Played uh I believe it was a 5A level ball in Cypress, Texas. And Texas, they don't play about their football. You got to be some type of tough to uh, uh, produce out there. And Green, like I said, he came into college as a 4-star. He was one of the highly coveted defensive linemen in his class. So it's exciting to see that Kalen DeBoer can get this type of talent in Alabama's defensive line room. And you talk about a player that has 2 years of eligibility, so you can continue to develop him. You can continue to figure out what his weaknesses are, and just continue just to help him work those deficiencies out of his game. But I can tell all Tide fans that are watching this video, he's gonna be a day 1 starter, and he's gonna be a player that Alabama can definitely lean on. He's going to make the players around him better. So this is just overall a win-win just for Alabama. It makes the defense that much better. But like I said, with Alabama targeting that defensive line, we had some news earlier about Alabama targeting that offensive line. And the news I'm talking about is Alabama was able to get a commitment from Ethan Evans. Ethan Evans is an offensive lineman from
Ethan Fields. Yeah,
Ethan
that's
Fields. Ethan Fields. My apologies for botching on his name. Ethan Fields. Ethan Fields is a offensive lineman from Ole Miss. And Ethan Fields, this kid has some SEC experience as well. He's a guard. He continues. He gives Alabama exactly what they need from an experience standpoint. You can line him up at different positions and things of that nature. It just seems like Kalen DeBoer just continued to be on this hot seat with the offense and defensive line, and he was the number 15th overall offensive lineman in the transfer portal. So you're getting the top 20 talent in Ethan Fields as well. And when you look at Ethan Fields, he's about 6'4", 315 pounds. He has 2 years of eligibility left, and I'm noticing that's being a thing with Kalen DeBoer. He's bringing in players that he's not doing like all these other coaches around college football. They're doing these 1-year rentals and stuff. Kalen DeBoer and Courtney Morgan, they're looking for players they can develop. And, Terrance Green, that's a player you can develop. Ethan Fields, that's a player you can develop. You talk about Ethan Fields. I'm talking about Ethan Fields some more. Ethan Fields, he played 19 games in his 3 seasons in Oxford. So there goes your experience right there. He started 15 games of the 19 games that he played. He had some interest from Tennessee as well, but Alabama
Mhm.
was able to snag him away from Tennessee. So now, yep, got to throw the Tennessee the shade in there. Got to throw the Tennessee shade in there. You know, we ain't worried about
That's
no
for trying to get Ty
volunteers.
Simpson.
Yep,
Karma.
yep. We ain't worried about no volunteers around here. But Ethan Fields is now the fourth offensive lineman that Alabama was able to add to their transfer portal class. I think this gives them now about 17 players that they've added in the transfer portal. And Ethan Fields, he's just one of those players that you can plug and play anywhere. He can play guard. He's big enough to play tackle. You can slide him right or left guard. Like so, that's just the thing that we're noticing with the versatility that Alabama is bringing in on both sides of the ball. This is a much needed addition for Alabama, and like I said, they're just beefing up these trenches, and that's the point of weakness that they had last year. You look at all 4 games they lost last year. It was either because they couldn't rush the quarterback, or it was either because they couldn't protect the quarterback and they couldn't block to get the run game going. So now they're targeting those weaknesses. So, like I said, I would grade this signing as well. It's probably like a B signing, A minus signing, but still the same. It's still a good signing. It's
Oh,
still
it
something
is.
Alabama can continue to develop those 2 players as they make their way down to T-Town and you know continue to fill out this roster. Alabama had a vacancy at that offensive guard spot, and they continue to bring in bodies that they can develop, and they can continue to compete, because now Ethan Fields, he can compete with a player like a Will Sanders. He can compete with a player like a who's on that offensive line? I'm trying to think.
Oh, we've got the offensive lineman right here from
Yeah,
Crimson Coverage.
yeah, yeah. Our guy Brody Smoot does a great job of breaking stuff down online. Looking at that offensive line, you can read it. You can read that off of me.
Yeah, we've got Nick Brutz, Jackson Lloyd, Bear Fretwell, Bryson Cooley, Michael Carroll, Gerald Dowdy, Mel Waldrop, Ty Haywood, Tyrell Miller, Casey Poe, Chris Booker, Ethan Fields, William Sanders, Rayson Dalgetty, who we did a video on last night, by the way, and Cade Strayhorn. Oh my God, this is going to be awesome because we've now got one, two,
They have about 15 on there.
five offensive linemen from the 2026 portal. Like we're
Yeah,
bulking up.
yeah. So now we're just seeing a whole complete rehaul of this offensive line, and that was something that Alabama definitely needed to address over this offseason, because we saw last year they went by offensive linemen by committee, and it only took them so far. I mean, uh, they were never Kalen DeBoer and Coach Kapovich, they were never able to settle on a complete formidable five on their offensive line. So, but now they have options, and options breeds competition. So I'm just excited that they're able to get continuing to stack these wins in the trenches, because that's where the games are won and lost. I continue to say that. So it'd just be exciting to see how these guys fit in. But overall, I'm excited.